Hello, good evening, happy Saturday. I hope you can all hear and see me. I'm doing this from my phone this time, so I hope it's going to work. And I have such a special guest for everyone this evening. So I'm just going to wait a few minutes for everyone to come on and then for me to be able to invite our special guest. So I hope it's all going to work. I practiced this a little bit with my husband before. So it seemed to work, and now let's see if it goes well when we go live. So I'll just wait for a few people to come on. How have you been? It was a crazy week. It was such a crazy week. I loved every minute of it, and I really hope that you're all still putting all the things we discussed in place. I'm going to come on live next tomorrow at 10:30. I'll be here and I'm going to discuss how we can take what we learned this week and put it into practice long term. I think that's going to be really powerful, so I hope you can join. As always, there will be a replay if you can't join. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay. I'm going to just let the guest know that we are on. So please let me know in the comments if you can hear and see me. It's different. Oh, hi, good, you're here. It's different than on my computer, so I can just see that there's 3 people on. I just don't know who it is. So give me 1 sec. I'm going to try and just invite her. Let me know how you guys have been, how you've been getting on. Let's see. Hi, Gillian. I am struggling to see who is on. So sorry, guys. As I said, I haven't done a share screen before. So I'm just going to hang on to see if Lauren comes on. Lauren, if you're on, if you can just request to join me, please. So hopefully you will see this. Let me know how you've been getting on. How is the no sugar, the breathing, and the veggies going? Tell me the details. I want to know, especially weekends. Weekends are, they can be a bit trickier, especially routine changes slightly. Maybe if you're at home with the kids, things might be a little bit more unpredictable. So let me know. I'm going to try and move this so that I can see where I am typing. Almost feeling hormone again after a hormone hangover this week. Why a hormone hangover? Was that because of what we did or because you were on your period? What was going on? Tell me. Sorry guys, I'm trying my best here because I've propped you up on my keyboard. How am I supposed to do this? I don't know that we're live. Lauren, if you're on, please request to join me and then we can show on the road. Maybe I can do it this way. Let me see. I tell you what, this week has been a week of firsts for me. Sharing the screen like I did for the masterclass, and then now trying to do a share screen so that I can introduce you to Lauren. No sugar, lots of veggies today. We're having people for dinner tonight and my husband's been making healthy curry and lots of veg in it. But I'm debating whether I'm allowed to have a drink or not, or if it's going to undo everything. It won't undo everything, and that's such a great question. We'll discuss this more tomorrow, 10:30. But life is for living. Life is absolutely for living, and I really like an 80-20 balance. So, you know, having a glass of wine. My rule of thumb with alcohol is to have a glass of water with your alcohol. So have a glass of water and the drink. And if you normally have 2 glasses of wine, then maybe use a smaller glass as well, so that you feel like you're having 2 glasses, but you're having less. Oh, hey, Lauren's on. So I don't know if that helps. Let me know. Let me know, please. Okay. So I wanted to introduce you to someone that I've been working with for over 18 months now. She's an amazing person, and she has so kindly offered to come and see us and speak to us today. She's going to share her journey. There's so much that's happened for her, and she's just going to share her journey and how we work together. Lauren, you should invite someone that I'm working with.
now. She's a really amazing person, and she has so kindly offered to come and see us and speak to us today.
Can you hear me, Lauren?
Yeah, I can hear. Yes, yes.
Have you got earphones by any chance? Because otherwise, I think one of us needs earphones.
I'll put earphones in.
Give us a sec, guys. Okay,
Yeah,
let's
I've got
try now.
earphones.
Okay, I can hear you now. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, I've
Any
got
echo
earphones.
still? Is it echoing on your side?
Yeah, I've got echo. Oh, now it's clear.
Is it clear?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
clear
can
now.
you hear us? Can everyone hear? Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you can hear. Just gonna have a like. Thank you. I'm so glad you could find earphones so quickly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful. And I'm so excited to chat to you because I feel like we've been through such a journey together. So I'd love for us to dive in, and I've got a few questions, if that's okay. And let's get started. So first of all, if you'd like to introduce yourself, that would be wonderful. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Can you, so if you introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I started seeing Angelique about 18 months ago. And I saw Angelique for, well, actually, the main reason I saw her was because I'd just come off the pill and I wanted some advice about taking Ovasitol. And at the time, I had quite a lot of symptoms from PCOS and my skin, and I had night sweats and belly fat, digestion issues here. Oh, I'm getting and then also my hair was skinning. Yeah, those were my main reasons for seeing Angelique.
I remember when you came, though. I remember when you first came. You came to see me with your mum, and you were quite worried that you were coming off the pill and that your skin was going to break out again.
Yeah, I was really worried about my skin and really worried about, at the time, my digestion was bad, although I don't think I let on quite how bad it was. And I had a growing number of food intolerances. And yeah.
So when you say your digestion was bad, you mean like bloating and just being uncomfortable?
Yeah, just generally uncomfortable, lots of acid reflux, bloating, going to the toilet far too often, not feeling like food was staying in me or getting much from food, yeah. I'm feeling like I'd eat but then be like very hungry later.
Oh yeah, I remember you said that. You were like, I'm always hungry. And what about your skin? Did you have acne before
Yeah,
you went on the
whenever I
pill?
wasn't on the... Oh, sorry, I feel like we've got a delay here.
A little bit.
Yeah. My skin, yeah, so my skin was always bad if I wasn't on the pill, and then I was very concerned coming off, and it was initially, but now it's improved quite a lot. Yeah, it's much more manageable.
Amazing. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. When were you diagnosed with PCOS?
When I was probably 13 or 14, quite young.
What
15 maybe, yeah, 15.
what were your
Quite
symptoms?
early. Very irregular periods, acne, very greasy hair, and then weight gain mainly around the middle, being conscious that I'd gained quite a lot of weight, yeah.
And what was the solution? What were you told to do?
At the time, only ever going on the pill, never any nutrition advice, generally just, yeah, to go on the pill, and that was that. which is quite frustrating because I look back and I just wish I'd been told just a few tips. There's just a few things you can do. There's thousands of things you could do, but just a few things make such a difference. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what age did you go on the pill?
I went on the pill about 16 to about 20, and then about 21, 22 till about 30. So quite a
Yeah.
long time.
I mean, this is what I see so often in clinic is we get put on the pill for years and then we haven't done the underlying work. So you come off of the pill and then we're stuck with still having to work on everything going
Yeah.
forward.
And the thing is, all that
Uh,
time you want to eat healthy and want to be healthy, but you just don't know the exact things to do. And there are some very simple things that can really change it.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you feel that your symptoms got better when you were on the pill?
To be honest, I was somebody who was actually okay on the pill. I,
Mhm.
like some people, did feel dreadful on the pill, but actually for me, my skin was good on the pill, my mood was good on the pill, my periods were, well, they're not real periods, but they were there on the pill. And
Mm.
yeah, which is probably why I was on it for so long. So I was somebody who at the time was okay on the pill, I thought, except maybe not now. And I did have like a lot of migraines when I was on it, which might have been a cause, and maybe a lot of my gut issues were from that. I don't know, it's hard to know now.
It is hard to know, but I think that that's one of the the wonders of the pill is you get put on it because it's going to fix the issue, and then you're menstruating, your skin clears up, all of these symptoms improve. But when you come off of that pill, then we're right back to square one,
Yeah,
and we have to
exactly.
start. I mean, not everyone. Some people come off the pill and they're absolutely fine, but I'd say that's the minority, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that the only thing you had tried was just to be on the pill? Were
Yeah.
you given any other information?
And I was never giving any other advice. No, no.
Okay. And then why did you choose to work with me?
Initially, it was generally to find out if I could take Ovasitol because I'd heard it was really good for polycystic ovary syndrome. From my
I
research
remember.
online, that was good. And that was mainly what I wanted to know. Can I take it or not? Should I take it? Will it help? And that was it really at the time. And then obviously when I started speaking to you and you asked more and more questions, then it was kind of opening a can of worms for lots of other
Yeah,
things to investigate.
I remember I was looking over our initial notes. I remember that I wrote that question a couple of times because you asked me a couple of times or a few times in the session. So can I take it? And I was like, wait, wait, wait. I first have to find out what's going on before I can tell you that. Yeah. Okay. And then, um, so why then? Why at that point did you decide that? So you've been on the pill for X amount of years, you know you've got polycystic ovaries, your skin's cleared, you've got this monthly cycle, even though it's a breakthrough bleed, but you still feel like you're having a period. Why did you decide at that point that, actually maybe I need to do something more for myself?
I think I knew that at this point I was like 30 and I'd been on it for too long and I needed to think about my health in general. And so yeah, I came off it and then I knew sorry, I've got playback of what you said to me, so I'm struggling to follow my flow. But um,
Just
and I think I just had this sense that my health was worse than everyone around me. I had a
mm,
dreadful digestion and more food intolerances. I was having the night sweats at like 28, 29, which was I knew was completely wrong. Um, I was then going to have acne at like 30, 31, which I felt like I shouldn't be having because that should have been over 10 years ago. I knew that if
mhm.
I put on weight, it all went around my belly, which I didn't want. And is so uncomfortable, which then makes you resist putting on weight, even though I probably could have done with putting on weight at times. You don't want to when it all goes around your middle. I knew that I'd have irregular periods when I came off the pill. I knew I'd have brain fog. Um, I always used to wee the whole time. I used to know the toilet everywhere we went. And that I now know was probably from all the sugar. And I was always cold. My hair was thinning. And yeah, I just felt like my symptoms were just a lot more than a lot of other people. People older than me had better health than I did.
Yeah. And did you ever go to the doctor with the night sweats? Was anything further
Yeah, I'd been
investigated
to the
for
doctor
you?
repeatedly with the night sweats. I'd been to a couple and no one ever knew why. So they didn't, yeah.
Mm,
I don't even think I told you that the first time I saw you because I sort of
mm.
just assumed that was that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You didn't tell me about, I don't think you told me about the migraines. You didn't tell me about that or the brain fog
no,
when we
I
first
didn't. I
spoke.
realised I had brain fog because I don't think you realise what it is until you suddenly don't have it anymore, or you then eat something very carby or very sugary and you suddenly got brain fog and you're like, oh my God, I used to be like this all the time. And this is what's
Yeah.
causing this. No, this is, I have brain fog if I eat really carby or sugar heavy food. And I used to have that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And what made you decide to invest in your health? Because I mean,
I think
there
it
was
was
a
that,
lot going on for you. So, I mean, it was a big investment.
yeah, I think it was the growing number of symptoms, the growing number of food intolerances, um, and more issues than most people, that I knew something had to change because um, yeah, it wasn't getting okay. And also, I think it is the food intolerance that you're like, well, why am I becoming intolerant to all these foods? There must be more going on.
Yeah. And do you feel like
Yeah,
those intolerances have changed? Are you able to
I
eat
can definitely
differently?
I can definitely well, now I know what are the intolerances. I can just rule them out. I can definitely eat
Mm,
more food and feel fuller for longer. Um,
mm.
and I definitely like manage my hunger and my energy, and things are all sort of quite steady now. Yeah.
Right. Yes, that's what I wanted to ask you. So I guess maybe now we could just discuss a little bit of how I helped. What sort of recommendations and lifestyle changes did you make? And do you feel like they fitted in with your lifestyle? Because I think that's key if we ever want to make a change. One, we can make the decision that we want to invest and we can make the decision that we want to spend that time and that money on a certain thing. But two, it's actually putting it into place. So, how did you find my helping you?
Um, So I think it was obviously initially it was cutting out sugar, cutting out caffeine, were like immediate things to do, and I did them straight away. It was to increase with every meal my protein intake and my fat intake, and eat complex carbs, which like had an immediate effect on how full I'd feel after the meal, how long I could go between not then eating. It would stop me then grazing throughout the day because I'd be full, very satisfied from my meals and my hunger would maintain. Um, I mean, I thought I was eating quite a lot of fruit and vegetables, and I think you've increased it even more. I think I thought I was eating healthily, and I probably was to some extent, as in I was somebody who ate quite a lot of vegetables, but it's putting them alongside the proteins and the healthy fats that makes it keeps you full from them. And then also, I was doing quite a lot of spinning classes and heavier exercise, and you recommended yoga and walking. And I think by doing those, also that has a really good um, effect on my health. Yeah, having now focusing on more restorative type exercise.
Mm. I mean, when we first met, you were pretty stressed. You were a stressed teacher. I mean, I haven't met one teacher that's not. My mum-in-law is a ex-vice principal, and I mean, I haven't met one teacher that doesn't have like digestive issues or one teacher that's not highly stressed. Just a shout out to anyone that ever taught me. I'm sorry that I was such a brat because especially in high school, I know that I was like rowdy and loud and naughty. So I apologize to any teacher. But how do you find how are you able to manage stress now? Do you feel that there's a difference? Do you feel like you have your reaction to stress has changed at all?
I think I now catch myself when I'm feeling stress. I catch myself before it, and I will do breathing, or I'll calm myself, or I'll say it's not worth your health or your stomach by getting so
Mm,
worked up. So I think I now know like my triggers, and then the knock-on effect. I think previously I would happily um, just tolerate like being in a heightened level of anxiety and a heightened level of stress, whereas now I'm happy. I'm sort of like no, calm, relax, breathe, sit back. It's not worth it. Type. Yeah.
And do you feel that the changes that we made, the way that we did them together, that you were able to, they were doable and then sustainable as well?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, completely. I think that because I feel so much better for them, that they just
Mm,
become like completely natural, and um, The hardest thing is other people. I think that is the hardest thing, is when you want to eat a specific way, or like, you need to eat like no dairy or no gluten depending on your food intolerances, or you need to make sure you get protein so that your blood sugars don't go out of whack, and then other people feed you, and that's the hardest thing, because you never want to be cause a fuss when other people feed you. And also, I think that you learn that food is like tea and drinks and food. Whatever you like, whatever's comfort is what you're used to. So now I'm used to like a hot lemon first thing. That's what I crave. That's what I'm used to. When I'm away, what I look forward to is a hot lemon in the morning. Whereas previously it would be a milky Earl Grey tea, because that's what I always previously drank. So I think actually what we crave and what we want is just what's familiar and what's habit.
And over what period of time? I mean, like, what's different now? What do you feel you can do now that you couldn't do? And what are the main things that you feel are different to when we first started?
So firstly, I like always sleep through the night. I never wake up with awful night sweats. From the
Correct.
minute you gave me a particular supplement and had put other things in place prior to that, my night sweats have just vanished. I wee a lot less often, which is great, because that's just such a waste of time everywhere you go. My skin's improved. I have no 4 p.m. slump. I definitely don't get tired in the afternoon. My energy remains the same all day, actually. My hair's got thicker, which is good. I didn't even consider that would happen. My energy levels are generally stable from when I wake up to I go to bed. And I was at the point where I would fall asleep sat upright at about 8 or 9 every night.
Yeah, I remember.
I can digest food better, and I definitely stay fuller. I don't get that feeling of like needing to eat or getting faint just before I eat, which would sometimes catch me out. So I now can go for like a good 4 or 5 hours without eating if I've had like a really protein rich meal before, if I need to. Whereas previously, if I had to stretch more than 3 hours without a snack, I'd feel like faint. So that's really great.
And what about your mood? I mean, I should ask your partner this. Get Charlie on the call. What's your mood like?
My
Has
mood's
that ever
okay.
been
Um,
improved?
I think actually on the pill my mood was okay as well. Mood isn't something that I suffer with too badly, and I think that the pill was okay, and this is okay. That is, yeah, my mood I'd say is generally quite good. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think if I ate sugar and
fantastic.
had slumps after, that would be a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. So once you came off the pill, I think you'd been off of the pill for about a month before you came to me. Your skin was already starting then. And did you notice it as a change in your skin quite quickly after you made these changes?
So um, I think probably the pill took a while to get out my system completely. I think it probably took a few months to fully get out, and then for your lifestyle changes and supplements and food to all sort of take. And then I think I probably had it really bad about 3 months after I first saw you. But then once I got
Yeah.
everything in place and we'd done more testing and you knew more about my hormones and stuff, then it really improved, and it's maintained that. Yeah.
How does knowing what's happening in your body, so like knowing with the test results and having someone like me explain to you, like taking the time to explain to you what's happening, how does that empower you about your own health?
Um, I think it means that you're not just guessing or like taking a supplement just for the sake of it and hoping that it's right because somebody else has said that it works for them. It means that, I mean, not I don't waste a penny, because every supplement I take is exactly the right one for my health and age at this moment in time. Um, and I thought I could eat healthy foods, but actually you realise that certain foods are healthy for some people and not for others. So, you know, maybe like I would eat too many sugary fruits before, and think like like a banana and like a sugary cereal, and think that's a perfectly fine breakfast and a healthy snack, and then realise that there's so much sugar in cereal and a banana, and actually that will just send my hormones out of whack. So I think it's probably, whereas for other people they can eat that. Some people can eat a whole banana and that's great for them. But I suppose
Yeah.
you get the knowledge that is what for you is or isn't right.
Absolutely. And I mean, a humble banana, I think it's like a great fruit. It comes in its own little case. It's great. But exactly what you said there, one food is great for someone and might not work for someone else. And it's just about finding that personal food prescription, you know, what works for you, and also eating in a certain way that really just balances, makes you feel energized as opposed to hyper from like caffeine and things like that. I think that's so important. Are you glad you invested in your health?
Yeah, I am. I don't think when I started this, I realised what I was going to have, like the changes I was going to make and the testing that I'd need and the supplements that I'd then take. I hadn't like foreseen any of that, but I'm so grateful that I've done it because I feel like every day I think, oh, that's another thing that's gone. Like, I'm like, oh, I haven't had a migraine now for over a year, and I
Amazing.
haven't been to the doctors for like any issues for over a year, and I haven't um, like like just things like suddenly you realize that something's happened and you're like, oh yeah, that's stopped, or yeah.
I remember when we spoke a few months back, you were like, I'm not falling asleep at 8 o'clock on the sofa anymore. And you were so happy about that. And and then
Yeah,
you told me about the night sweats. I'm not having night sweats anymore. And I was like, whoa, 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 I've asked you this before. You like just sprung that on me. And I'm so glad that that rectified. I feel that that was really us starting to balance that estrogen that we know that we need to be doing with you. So that's fantastic. So I guess the question that I'd love for you to please share and to share with the ladies, because you've joined the group and you're going to join the school, which is incredible. Um, how is it working with me? Because that's the hormone balance school is coming up, and what I just want to do is create this amazing container for women to be able to change their lifestyles and feel better. So how did you find working with me? What do you think is different about working with me? And tell me all the good things.
um so I think probably working with you is that you are going to get to the root cause. You're not actually necessarily just treating a symptom. So you never treated my migraines, you never treated my night sweats, you didn't even know I had them, you never treated the fact that I used to wee like 1,000 times a day. But then by getting to the root cause and addressing like all my hormone imbalances, all these other things then slot into place and have a knock-on effect. So you're getting like to the bottom of what's causing it, and then from there, all these other things improve. Yeah. So I
Amazing. And
know
did you
that
feel
you're like improving my health a lot because things that I haven't even asked you to treat, you've improved. Whereas I've gone to doctors before, asked them to help my migraines, and then nothing's ever really helped. I mean, yeah, I can take painkillers for them, but they certainly don't go away.
yeah.
So yeah,
And did you feel supported all the way?
yeah, yeah. I
Good.
know that if I've ever got a question, you are your team always email back straight away, fill me in, keep me updated. Yeah, definitely supported. I mean, I couldn't have done it without, really. Yeah, because you do have a lot of questions or things along the way.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
so pleased. And so do you feel like if you had gone this alone, if you had just tried it by yourself, do you think that you would have gotten as far as you have?
Well, no, because I think I tried to do as much as I could. I think I'd done as much as I could without um, the support, really, because I think I thought I was actually eating relatively healthy in terms of numbers of fruit and veg, and like things like brown rice instead of white rice. But actually, you need more. You need more than that when you've got a hormone imbalance. The average like healthy type diet isn't. I don't think is enough really to know, and it's not. It's not big changes. Some are big changes, but some are just everyday things that are really, just become completely normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't
And
now even consider caffeine.
and before, I mean, that was quite a crutch for you
Yeah, need it.
before.
Yeah.
Mm, mm. I love the fact that you have energy without the caffeine. That's one of the big reasons why I always ask ladies to take out the caffeine and see what your energy is doing without it. Um, but now you've got this sustained energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's from like getting enough nutrients from your foods, really, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Before I ask the last question, I'm just going to ask the ladies that are on the call if they can still hear us clearly. So just give me a little sign that everyone can still hear, and then I'm going to just get to the last question. And if you had any burning questions that you'd like to ask, if you're okay with that, Lauren, um, Let's see if anyone does. Let me know if you can hear and see us properly still, please. It might be a bit of a delay. Yep. Okay, good. Excellent. So I'd love to ask you, we have this incredible group of women. I mean, we're over 1,300 now, which is just like, that's just incredible. I was just thinking if one person joins the challenge, I'll be so happy. And then we got quite a few more than one. So when we spoke the other day, something that I just knew that I wanted to speak to you on here because you said something that really rang true with me as well, is that you just really want to help the ladies that are on this on the group. You want to help them to help themselves as well. So if you can give your biggest tips for the lady in the group, so words of support and encouragement, what would that be?
One is to trust you and believe what you say because it is true.
Oh,
One is, well, it's hard to, I'm obviously only as a woman with polycystic ovary syndrome, and so I can only speak from knowing what it's like to have sugar and that, that condition. So for women with polycystic ovary syndrome and maybe other women with insulin resistance, then it is to cut out the sugar and up the healthy fats and proteins, because I think by doing that you stop your cravings, you stop any energy dips, and you generally feel a lot more balanced. And now you just don't even think about sugar. I honestly don't think about sugar. I don't have a sweet tooth. I think what you're used to just changes. And I'd say the other thing is things that we missing in terms of your morning coffee or your morning tea is that you just learn to love what you have every day. So now I have a hot lemon every day. That is what I crave. That is what I want. You just want the familiar. You find comfort in what is familiar to you. And I think that when you first said to me to change my milky warm tea, which to me is at the time was so comforting, for a hot lemon, I was thinking, oh, but actually now that is exactly what I want when I wake up, and that's what I crave. And I think that a lot of what we love is just what we have every day, and we find comfort in the familiar. So quite
yeah.
quickly your changes become familiar, and that's what you then like.
So do you think
And
the hormone balance school is a good idea?
do I think, sorry, what? Pardon?
Do you think that the hormone balance school is a good idea?
Yeah, I do. Fantastic. Because I think you can do so much through lifestyle changes and changing your food, and that it has such a big impact on your health. Yeah.
Fantastic. And so going forward, is this your new way of life? Is this it? Is this how you're going to be living?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think it is just life now, isn't it? Yeah.
That's incredible. I am so grateful. I just want to see if anyone has given us any questions. Emily says, I get that. I guess your habits adapt and you end up craving the healthy stuff. Absolutely. Marie says, so true. We find comfort in the familiar. And this is the thing, this is what I've been saying, and I say that quite often, is that we have such a relationship and an attachment to food and what we eat that it's quite scary to make a change. But I mean, like, you just jumped in 2 feet first, and we just went for it from day one. And the changes that you've had are incredible: skin, digestion, no night sweats, sleeping better, not just having these energy slumps. And your hair, even your hair thickening and the migraines going. I mean, these are fantastic, fantastic changes. And so many women are just walking around with these symptoms indefinitely because we don't know what changes to make. And then we're afraid to make that change, whether that's an investment or whether that's just making simple changes here and there. So you are an inspiration.
I think that we the hard thing is that we trust like a lot of food, and we naturally trust our doctors, and we naturally trust like brands that we know, and then we look at actually what gets put in certain foods or some of the more limited advice that you're given by healthcare professionals, and that actually you sadly actually have to question some professional guidance you're given, or you have to question brands that you've trusted when you actually look at what they put in their food. And I think that's probably
My goal is to empower everyone that I work with the right questions that they can then go back to their doctors with and say, like, what about this? What about that? Or to make the changes. And then, like, I mean, I dropped 20 kilos in weight. And when I went back to my endocrinologist, the reply that I got at that time was like, oh, we don't have to see you again because you've lost the weight. There wasn't a how did you do it? And I feel like when we start questioning and we start sharing that information with people that we are seeing, so with our healthcare team, and when we really get to know ourselves really well, that's when we can see the biggest changes. So
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled for you. You have been like a star client the whole way through. You've just taken everything on board and you really are an inspiration. And I'm so grateful to be working with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Angelique. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Lucky I found you.
Good, thank you. Good. Okay. So if anyone had any questions, let us know now. And then I'll let Lauren go. I don't know if you can go without me ending. So just hang on 1 second there for me. Are the supplements included in the price or are these extra? How much are they? They're not included in the price. No, I will be advising you on what type of supplements you can have and where to get them as well. And there's a discount where you can get them. But I can't tell you how much they are because I don't know which ones would work for you. But the supplements that I use are high quality and brands that I know and trust. And we can't just take supplements and not doing the other changes as well. So the supplements aren't the primary focus of everything, if that makes sense. Okay, if you have any questions about the school or anything, please let me know. Send me a DM. I'm on DM the whole weekend and I'll be happy to answer that. And just a massive thank you, Lauren. You have gifted us with your time and this is an inspiration. You are amazing and I'm so pleased
Well,
to be
if I
working
can
with
do it,
you.
all the women watching can definitely do it. All the women watching can make the changes and feel better. And you really will feel better if you trust Angelique's program, you read Angelique's book, you really, really will feel better. And I do I've done this because I would love other people to feel like the improvements that I have. And if I can do it, everyone else can. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely evening and I'll
Thank you.
see you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Bye.
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 Thank
Bye.
you. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching and for joining us. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to Lauren, and if you have any questions, as I said, let me know. And this will be on replay if you want to catch it again. And have a lovely, lovely, lovely evening. Oh, 10:30 tomorrow morning, just before I do a client consultation. I had to move him live, going through how we can take what we've learned during the challenge and how we can put that into practice long term. And then I'm also going to be answering a few questions, some common questions that I've already received. Have I mentioned that? Okay. Big love. Go have a fabulous evening and I will hopefully see you all tomorrow and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.